questions. I'm going to kick it off with a few and then open it up to the house. Slava and Anya, could you tell us how this film came to be? How you linked up with the other filmmaker? Is Brendan Bellomo, who can't be. He was originally going to be with us this evening, but he's based in Los Angeles, and for reasons we all know, he could not be here this evening. But I think his mother, Susan Coyle, is in the house. Is she here? Anyway, she's a wonderful person. But can you tell us how you met Brendan and how the film came to be?
Thank you. We knew Brendan Bellomo, my co-director and a filmmaker in Los Angeles, through our art. Few years we have this idea to use our art, our figurines for narrative animation. But big war was broke out, and Brendan called to us, just ask, how are you? Are you alive? Are you in Ukraine? And what you doing? Do you continue your art? And we answered, yes, we are in Ukraine, and Anya paint figurines, and I trying to help to her during the night, and he answered, what you doing during the day? And I explained I was serving in Ukrainian Special Force at that time, and I tried to teach civilian people who came to army as volunteers how to use firearm, how to defend their families and homes. And Brendan, very gentle, asked us, can you feel something about your life and all these amazing actions around you? And it was an amazing opportunity for us to share our experience as artists and as soldiers, experience of my friends, regular civilian people who came to army as volunteers to defend their country, their freedom. So we get from Brendan our equipment to film. It was serious challenge for our amazing producers team who find opportunity to send this equipment to war zone, because it's nobody can FedEx equipment to war zone, but our amazing volunteers who delivered that time help from American citizens to my unit, bring our equipment abroad. It was really spectacular to get in one big bag cameras to film in, and armored vests from former American policemen to defend ourselves, and helmets and sound recorders and medicine supplies all together.
And so the equipment was brought in by American civilians. And how did you, you two are artists, as we've seen, beautiful artists, as we've seen in the film. How did you, but you have not made a film before. How did you and your friend Andre learn how to use all this equipment, this camera equipment?
It's really our very first movie. We never thought about make movie before. And we used our experience as visual artists, but to work with all this equipment, it was completely new, but it was easy, because Brendan Bellomo his kindness and creativity and professional skills absolutely amazing. He established for us kind of improvised filmmakers school on Zoom, and his tutorial was really helpful. Maybe it's the best way to make your very first movie, to use Brendan's tutorials. So we were really ready to start. I was ready, and Brendan asked me, what can film you and Anya if you are in frame together? And we really was not ready to invite someone from outside, so close, so deep in our life, in our everyday life. But we have really close friend, Andrei Stefanov. He helped me on shooting range to teach civilians. He never filmed it before, but he is amazing painter. And I told Brendan we have this guy and sent to Brendan a photo of Andrei's painting. And Brendan told me this guy can make this footage, he can film. And really the first Andrei's experience, it opened our movie. It's the first his frame ever.
I thought this film was so incredibly cinematic, and that nature is so, and the beauty of nature when all the horror is going on in Kharkiv and Bakhmut. How did you decide, like the shots with the snails and I love the scene with the little leaf boat that Anya created going down the river, and how did you, even when you were going through the forest and you were, there were the beautiful toadstools and you were uncovering the mushrooms and you were uncovering the war, what do you call those, landmines. How did you decide to incorporate so much nature into the film?
Nature was really important for us because our nature now on the Shelly, now this horrible fire in Los Angeles. We arrived from Los Angeles yesterday night. It's really remind me situation around Kharkiv in first months of big war, and now our forests in fire because of shelling, and Ukraine is most mining by landmine country in world, and we'll never fix it completely. It can take hundreds and hundreds of years because we have billions of mines of our territory mined from air and by hand. It's a really horrible issue, but nature is so important for Anya's painting, for our lifestyle. Ukrainians usually really connected to nature, and we, from the very beginning, we were focused on beauty, because all war looks same, all destruction looks same, and people afraid to watch war movie because war is horrible and disgusting and nobody wants to be upset and so on. But our responsibility as artists and filmmakers is to bring hope and inspiration even from the center of this destruction.
Anya, question for you, in creating your beautiful paintings on the porcelain creatures. How was it for you to see them animated? The animation of your, I mean, I'm just curious how that was for you.
It's our animation in our film. It's way to talk about terrible things by children language. Language which not for brain, it's for heart, yes? We really from first time think about film in which we show not destruction, but what was destruct, what was broken, because all broken things absolutely same, but nobody don't. It's really difficult to understand what was broken, and we show it, and our animation help us in this on this way. And for me, it was in this terrible time. For me, it was absolutely beautiful gift of our team, because it's old idea. We begin our conversation with Aniela and Brandon through our art, but it was before Big War. And when Aniela said me in one moment, and in our film we have we have animation, I said, it's possible now. It's idea of normal life. And
so initially, Brendan and Aniela reached out to you through Facebook. They found your beautiful creations, and the idea was to create an animated film. And then you lost touch for
yes,
some years, and then the war came. Okay.
And this idea coming in our film from this time of from this normal life before the war. And our team finds this in Poland incredible, beautiful studio, animation studio Blue. And I create three animals for our film. We send photos, not only these animals, not only stories which I draw on these animals. We sent to Blue Studio in this to Poland. We sent all photos of our work, more than 20 years work. It was very many photos. And they study this material and continue my stories, my drawing in absolutely so they destroyed my world which I draw on this, create on these animals. They make the war. It's global studio work. And in one moment I see how my drawing live without me. It was absolutely new for me. And every time our team, when our team conversation by Zoom, I see something new from this animation. It was very interesting.
You all agree. The animation for me was, I think, some of the most extraordinary animation I've ever seen and experienced.
Woo!
From your original drawings.
Throw us upset.
We'll open up to the house in just a minute, but question for you, Slava, to go from creating these porcelain pieces to teaching civilians warfare, and how you kind of juxtapose those two things, and how you came to be special forces and training civilians in riflery and
As you know, we lived in Crimea, and our peaceful life in Crimea was broken after Russian invasion to Crimea and annexion. And we, since 14, we completely understood, because this annexion never was punished, to be continuous. And we need kind of preparation. And I met my future and former commander. Like everyone in our unit, he is a successful civilian. He's professor of our university, historical professor, and now special force officer. And his subject is modern Russian war. And he completely understood what kind of war coming to us. Today, Anya reminded me his lecture since it was in 14 or 15. He explained what will be around Kharkiv, and he was true. And he started our preparation, and we build our expertise in these military skills. We used our weekend for military preparation, and we was really ready when big war was broke out.
So I think open it up to the audience here if anyone here has a question in the front. I don't know, do we have any roving mics or? There we go. I think there's one coming to you now.
This mic is not working. Could I borrow, maybe I'll
We
borrow
can
yours.
share, we can
Thank
share.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much for coming. Your film is incredible. It's incredibly humanizing to see you guys here in front of us, but also just in the film, to see how you juxtapose the use of art and technology in this really tough time. I was wondering how you got the idea to paint the drones. And kind of what was, your inspiration also, and including, shots where you got people shooting, but they have like their AirPods in, or things like that. It's just it's showing real life, but I'm wondering kind of your inspiration.
Thank you. About drones, my commander just asked Anya paint drone in bright color to make it more visible, because sometimes they have not enough energy and falling down, and sometimes it's a horrible issue to find this small object on landmine territory. But of course, Anya not just painted in bright color, because Anya's creativity is endless.
They asked me to make this drone's face because I don't know what they mean, but I do it.
We'll take yours. Do you mind passing this? Thanks.
Hello, thank you for being here. The film was beautiful, very inspiring, moving, and an incredible piece of work for any filmmaker, much less a first-time filmmaker. It's really stunning. Watching that film made me think of a great photographer and filmmaker from the civil rights era here in the United States named Gordon Parks. He wrote a memoir that said, "My choice of weapons" is the name of that memoir, and his choice of weapons was his camera. And I wonder if you plan on continuing to make films, because you're incredibly talented, and I can see how this film is an important weapon as well as the work you're doing with guns.
Thank you so much. It's really important for us. us and such an honor for me, because we are here instead of so many people who helped us in Ukraine, and bravery of every Ukrainian soldier and patience of every Ukrainian civilians is behind us here. Of course, we will film it. We will continue our art. It's our responsibility now, because Ukrainian culture and that identity is main target of this invasion. And since the start of this big war, our museums was destroyed. Our artworks was stolen or burned. Our university was destroyed, and so many our artists was killed. Artists, actors, our producers, and our filmmakers, and our writers, teachers, any people who contribute culture was killed on front line or in their own kitchen or bedroom because Russia shelling apartment house. Or maybe most horrible, killed especially on occupied territory, because they trying completely destroy Ukrainian identity. It's senseless, it's impossible, but they killing these people because they are killing future of Ukrainian culture. And we cannot fix anything. Nobody can bring these people back to life, because it's our duty now to work instead of all these people. That is why we filmed this movie, and that is why we will continue.